Hello, everybody out there in remote work land, but also hello to the folks who have turned out for this great event. I am Jano Lieber, the MTA Chair and CEO. I'm here with my partner in all things MTA, with the President of New York City Transit, Demetrius Critchlow. And I also want to acknowledge we have an important august guest list. We have got State Senator Kristen Gonzalez, Assembly Member Harvey Epstein, the CUNY Chancellor, the guy who is overseeing all of the CUNY schools, Felix Matos Rodriguez, a good friend, the President of Baruch College, David Wu. Where are you, President? And also standing with us are the Student Government President, Christian Perez, and the President of the Graduate Student Association, Samuel Ofusa. Thank you guys for joining us. Look, if you look behind us, it's obvious what brought us here. It's the 23rd Street station, has been renamed to recognize its close neighbor, Baruch College. So a hand for that. We are, you know, the MTA is all about getting around, so we will always rename stations where there's a significant destination right by the subway, right by the subway entrance, and Baruch is that. The school is just a block away, and it's a major destination. It has 20,000 students, and because I'm a parochial New Yorker, you never can forget to mention there are more CEOs of Fortune 500 companies who went to Baruch than any other college in the United States. This is a school that churns out top-tier talent, especially in business. Baruch is a cornerstone of the CUNY system. We are proud to recognize its contributions and its role as a New York icon and a destination in this community. So thank you to the Senator and to the Assembly Member for making this bill happen. And now let me turn it over to Demetrius Critchlow.
Thank you, Jano. I'm Demetrius Critchlow, the President of New York City Transit, and it's great to be here with you celebrating bringing this system closer to the community in which it serves. I always like to say at New York City Transit, we're about moving people, not just machines. There are people on the machines that we move. This station and the trains that it serves is moving Baruch College students, faculty, and staff, and getting them where they need to be. Now, we appreciate the opportunity to honor the connection here and to acknowledge the symbiotic nature of the relationship between our transit system and the communities in which we serve. Transit is here to connect neighborhoods and bring close closer together, literally. That's what we do. So we'll continue to deliver safe and efficient service that the community can rely on. And all we ask for in return is that you continue to utilize the system responsibly and with the respect that we know you already do. Thank you again for this wonderful group of people for making this happen. And with that, I will turn it over to Kristen Gonzalez, New York State Senator.
Thank you so much, Demetrius. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It is so incredible to be here. I certainly want to thank Chair Lieber and his entire team for showing up today. I will tell you, I have seen them across my district, which is in Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, and they have delivered in every single part. So thank you all so much for being incredible partners. I also certainly want to thank my elected colleagues, Assemblymember Epstein. I want to shout out Council District 2, which I know is here, because of course the partnership across city and state has been pivotal to getting us to this moment. You know, I want to talk a little bit more about what Baruch is in terms of an important part of this community. As you heard, it has an amazing student body that's diverse, that comes from all over, but it's actually a nationally ranked college. It's been ranked #1 for the last 3 years, according to the Wall Street Journal, for serving their 20,000 students and being the best in affordability. And as a New Yorker, I like to brag about how we're leading. And Baruch has not only led in, of course, having such an incredible alumni network, but they have also led in emerging technologies, recently starting an AI center, an AI hub. I've seen this student body continue to grow, even when it's been difficult taking on those new technologies or continuing to thrive in a city that is, sometimes difficult and unaffordable. That's why today it is so important to me to be standing with our public transit system, supporting our CUNY, our Baruch here, our CUNY system, because a lot of students, like myself, are commuter students coming from working class backgrounds. And a lot of them rely on public transit every single day to get to class. So in renaming this station, it is a recognition of knowing who is coming through the station, knowing the value of having them be a part of our community, but also certainly acknowledging the role that our public colleges and our public transit system play together in making New York the incredible place that it is. So I am so proud. It was actually, to get to this was one of the first bills I introduced in the Senate. It takes time to get these across the finish line. But again, it is so incredible to see us be here finally today to unveil the new name on this subway station. So with that, I want to say thank you so much. I certainly also want to shout out, we have our CUNY Chancellor, Felix Matos here. And I look forward to continuing to working with all of you to make sure that we're delivering for right here in Midtown Manhattan. So with that, I have the immense honor of introducing my colleague in the state legislature, Assemblymember Harvey Epstein. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gonzalez, and thank you all for being here. When Baruch came to us a few years ago and talked about this idea, it really was a marriage of all what we believed in. So important, our public transportation system, and General, thank you for all you do. And think about how important our public education system and what CUNY means to all of us as someone who's a CUNY alum, married to a CUNY alum, parent of a CUNY alum. This is part of a fabric of our city. And to acknowledge it in our subway station right here on 23rd Street to talk about how important Baruch is. Senator Gonzalez has talked about so many parts of Baruch. And it is the place where you see lower income New Yorkers become higher income New Yorkers because they go to Baruch. You do not see that in colleges across the country. This is something that talks about immigrant experience in New York. Going to Baruch, learning what you can learn, and doing so much more for our city. And Baruch students, they stay. They become the fabric of New York. They stay and they invest and they give back. And this is some way of us giving back to them. To say, Baruch is so important that we're going to put you on the subway station and name you and be a part of our city. So thank you all for letting this happen. Thank you for all sharing this moment. And I'd love to bring up an amazing chancellor of our CUNY system, Chancellor Matos Rodriguez.
Thank you so much. Buenos dias. Great to see everybody. Good to see everybody here. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Jano, for your great leadership and support, a great partner, not just on projects like this, but also in many of our works in having interns in the MTA and a number of other projects. Thank you so much. A big kudos to our elected officials. Thank you so much, Senator Gonzalez. You're not an alum. You still have time, right, to get another. You see all our new campaign in the subways all over the place, a degree for every dream, so there's still time, affordable and flexible, right? And to Assemblyman Epstein, thank you so much. An alum, like he said, big supporters of the City University of New York and incredible partners in the work that we do. A historic occasion. I just want to stress two things. I'm going to later introduce really one of our best leaders in the system, President Wu, a great leader for Baruch, and I'm going to let him do all the bragging about Baruch, which only he can do. We're incredibly proud of the work that he has done with the entire team in so many ways, and that combination of affordability and excellence, which is CUNY, Baruch exemplifies in a very special way. Two things I'll say. This is the 7th subway stop named after a CUNY school. 7, right? And I have 26 campuses, right? So we have work to do, Jana. We have work to do. So to encourage you to continue in that line that you say, can we, yes? I would like to present you with this CUNY hat to remind you of all the other stations that we still have to name.
68th Street,
Yes,
Connor stuff.
yes, we can do that, right? And just think about how many citizens and elected officials you will make happy if you name those stations at budget time. So it's a win-win for everybody if we do that.
All right, the senators and the assembly members who do our budget get to do that.
Exactly, yes.
And
And
we'll
they'll
do
be
it
happy.
at the right price.
At the right, absolutely. So everybody wins. But I just want to stress, and both the senator and the assemblyman mentioned this about the importance of public transportation to make sure that the CUNY Dream Machine can happen. And there's the obvious part about our students, our faculty, our staff being able to get to work in a way that is convenient, that is affordable. But I also want to stress something that is a key theme for all of us, which is also how the public transportation system is a key to many of our students when they go do internships, when they go, many of our students work, right? So it's not just getting to school, it's all the other things that education brings that a public transportation system like the one that we have in New York that reaches every corner and is affordable can do. And I want to acknowledge that here today. The last thing that I want to mention is that the great institution that CUNY is, that I'm very proud to represent, which is the Ellis Island of opportunity here in New York, right? Where many individuals who have all the talent, all the intelligence, all the desires come, and they come at a place that is affordable. 68% of our students do not pay any tuition between state and federal aid. 75% graduate with zero student debt. Who can say that in this country today? And we talk affordability. That dream began right there with the Free Academy in 23rd and Lexington. That was where that dream that said that New Yorkers have all the great talent and what they needed was a place where they can come to a university and do it in an affordable way was born. Baruch is a very proud descendant of that legacy of the Free Academy that then became City College. So that dream is still alive today, and we get to do that because we have incredible partners like Jano in the MTA, incredible partners in our elected officials. And with that, let me introduce you to the section of the program which we call the Baruch bragging section of the program. Many, many things to be bragged about in terms of the accolades that Baruch gets, and nobody better to do that than their president, President David Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I have to say this is really a long-awaited moment, and I'm so grateful that everyone beside me here are really the supporter of making this happen. And this is a tremendous moment. The legend is that when I first came as a president about 5 years ago, and they told me that for 20 years, that Baruch is trying to get his name on the subway sign, and finally today we make that happen. And this is not going to, without the support of everyone here behind me, that's not going to be a reality. So as the Chancellor said, we are standing right here and very close to here is the 23rd in Lexington, is where the Free Academy was born. And the Free Academy is the first free public education that's offered in the United States. In many ways, Baruch is carrying that legacy. And today we have over 20,000 students, and not only from New York, but from all over the world. And these are immigrants, first generation students to attend college. And yet, when they graduate, and they represent really the future of the city, and they're competing head-to-head with Ivy League graduates and on the Wall Street, and become the CEOs and become the fabric of the city. And so we're really proud of that. And I guess I can stand here whole day and talk about the national recognition that we have got. So I'm just going to say a few ones. And Senator Gonzalez already mentioned, for the third year in a row, we are ranked #1 by the Wall Street Journal as best value in the entire country. And this year, the first time, Wall Street Journal also ranked us the #1 public college in New York, in the Northeast. And some of you may not know what financial engineering is, but think about Baruch. We are in between Wall Street and United Nations, and we have a program called financial engineering, and that is ranked #1 in the world. By the way, we just passed Princeton to be that #1 in the world. And so when we say we're offering a world-class education to New Yorkers, we are not simply bragging, and we're just simply stating the facts in many ways. And I guess, mind you, more than 65% of our undergraduate student population qualify for federal Pell Grants. And so in other words, Baruch is known to be the place where we propel family from the bottom 20% of the income level to the top 20%. And there's no other institution in our site, in the top tier institution, that's doing the same thing. And so this is really a tremendous accomplishment for the talented people that we have at the college, and the support from the CUNY system, and the incredible students that we're able to attract to be here with us. So I want to especially recognize Senator Gonzalez and Assembly Member Epstein for their tremendous support that make this a possibility. And we look forward to partner with MTA. And because I take a subway all the time, I know our students take the subway from all 5 boroughs, and to come to Baruch every day. So without the subway and without the public transportation, none of that would be possible. So thank you for everything you do, and we look forward to partner with you. And I know MTA is also one of the largest employer of Baruch graduates, among others. So thank you very much for being here today.
I mean, just to put a point on what Dr. Wu said, one of the first things that I did when I got in this job 4 years ago was I called up the chancellor, who was a friend, and we said, we got to sit down and talk about a major internship program for CUNY. And since then, we've had, I think, over 1,000 CUNY students get internships at the MTA, and a lot of those are leading directly to permanent jobs. We are becoming, I always say that these are New York kids. They get how important the MTA is. It's part of their lives, and they've turned into a great source of qualified employees. So we love working with CUNY. So I also have to acknowledge the Baruch Bearcat. Am I saying it right? And Dr. Wu talked about how they passed the Princeton. So the bottom line is the Bearcat crushes the Princeton Tiger. Write that. All right, so we've done our spiel, and I'm ready for a little Q&A. Who's gonna? Ray, are you gonna?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman. I'm back here.
You're over there.
Thank you so much,
All
Mr.
right.
Chair, and everybody is part of the speaking program. Are there any on-topic questions from media? Any on-topic? Okay, we're gonna do some off-topic questions.
Off-topic with a warning to our political partners and CUNY partners: they don't have to stand when I get answered off-topic questions.
Very fair,
or
Mr.
in some
Chairman.
cases, very, very off-topic.
All right,
Go
let's
ahead.
start with NBC4's Checky Beckford here,
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Jano.
Hi.
So what's the response, Jano, to the DOT official saying that the Gateway Tunnel project is actually still a go, despite the president saying it was terminated?
Okay, so listen, one thing to be clear, Gateway is not an MTA project. It's a project between the states of New York and New Jersey. But the governor said it yesterday that we in New York have Washington whiplash. One thing comes from Washington today, the next day it changes, and we are spending way too much time trying to figure out what Washington really means and what they're doing. But I'll tell you this: MTA is carrying 6 million people a day. We're getting ridership is up. Service is better than it's ever been. And we're not letting that Washington whiplash knock us off our game. But you're right that the messages from Washington keep changing, and it's important stuff. It's not, these kinds of projects are too important to the future of the country to be messing around with, where the funders in Washington don't know what the deal is. I wish they'd get their act together.
All right, Mr. Chair, we have Samantha Liebman from New York One. Samantha.
this is also about the feds too. It's about the 34th Street busway. Yes, you don't control that, but the buses you control do ride along there. So they're threatening, withholding funding and all of these things if the city DOT doesn't answer their questions. But it seems like it may be more than that. What's your response to that? And also, if the senator and assemblyman, I know the busway isn't in your district, but 34th Street is. If you want to weigh in as well.
First of all, the letter basically just says, stop planning this until you've answered our questions. So I don't know that this is the final word. Obviously, the city and the state DOTs are going to answer the questions, just like we're answering the questions they've raised at the 15th hour about the 2nd Avenue subway. A lot of these, random requests for information seem to be coming since the administration changed hands. I think it's a little bizarre how much they want to get into like the day-to-day traffic of New York. I mean, it's like next what are you going to have to apply to the Secretary of Transportation if you want to have a block party? I mean, is the Secretary of DOT going to decide who gets to sell gyros at which location? I mean, it's enough already. So time for letting New York plan how to have the right local traffic and transportation system. We've already proven with the 14th Street busway that this is good for everybody. Faster buses and the traffic, the car and truck traffic has turned out to be just fine on 14th Street. So we can do this, but obviously we're going to roll with a new version of Washington Whiplash in the meantime.
All right, before we finish, Mr. Chairman, I understand Senator Epstein has some
Yeah, I just
comments.
want to add one thing. We should see what happened on 14th Street. Increased ridership, faster buses, people are happier, traffic is reduction. So we're talking about 34th Street. We're going to see hopefully exactly the same thing. And if Washington really wants to get involved in what's happening day to day in New York City, they should just come here and hang out with us more and see what's actually happening. The city's stronger, crime is down, people are happier, things are going well, congestion pricing is working. They should just hear all those messages.
And the gyros are tasty.
One more question here. It's for Senator Epstein.
Senator Gonzalez or Assemblymember Epstein? This
Uh,
one.
uh,
This one. The guy in the flowered shirt. The guy in the
Assemblymember
flowered
Epstein.
shirt.
So sorry.
Assemblymember, the same question that I addressed to Jano about the Gateway Tunnel project. Any response to that, obviously?
I think this doesn't impact my district as much. I don't know if Senator wants to speak. So I think just what we've heard is New York has to go forward with what New York believes in. If we're going to lose federal dollars, we should expect to lose federal dollars. That's a given. The question we have to answer after that is what we're going to do about it. The federal government's going to make whatever crazy choices they're going to make, and we're going to continue to have to plug along to make New York stronger and better, and that's exactly what we plan to do.
All right, before we finish up Q&A, Mr. President, I know you have some service announcements, right?
So, folks, I want to remind folks that this weekend there will be no 7 service between 34th Street Hudson Yard and 74th Street Broadway in Queens. So please plan your trips accordingly. This supports important projects like accessibility, just like the ones that we've done at 46th Street and 33rd Street. And we're also being smart about using this time to do more work, heavy work, like cleaning the tracks at different locations, replacing rails, inspecting interlockings, testing flood barriers, making platform repairs, and much more. This outage, while it is large, we are going to get a large amount of work done. All this work is what ensures that we keep the system moving like it needs to be moving and reliably. We're operating shuttle buses that are making local 7 stops. Folks can take the E, the F, or the R train as an alternative. Subway riders can also take the Long Island Railroad between Queens and Manhattan for no additional cost. As always, I encourage customers to check the MTA app and visit our website, mta.info, for more specific service alternatives that will fit customers' needs.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's unveil this station sign. For those of you watching the live stream, stand by as we unveil the new station. I want to make sure you guys hold on. we got to make sure this is clear for our live stream. See this camera right here?
I'm sorry.
You can't block the camera. Hold on. Hold on. We got to make sure we're not blocking the camera. We want everyone up here. Let's hold on. I'm going to give you a countdown. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Go ahead. You want to go down? Wait, let's hang tight. Wait, let's get some smiles first. Everybody smiling. Everybody smile. There it is. 23rd Street, Baruch College Station. Everybody point. Point. Smile. All right. Hey, we have one more. We have one more up here on the other side of the K-rail. Let's come on upstairs. Come on, let's go around. All right.